Halalawaya, Habanawa, Bahasham Yashaya, Shalom Mashapakath. Now there are many racial extinguishing devices against the Negroid race, and today I want to talk about just one of them, and that one is racial whitening. Racial whitening is a techniques, a scientific and biological techniques that if you follow that techniques over a few generations, you can change a black person straight over to become a white person, which they call whitening. They whiten out the race of that black person. How they do that, basically, they get like a black woman, they breed that black woman with a white person. The baby become half white, or mulata, which is basically half white in Portuguese or Spanish. And that half white baby, they breed that half white baby with a full white person, and there you look at the descendant of that half white baby, and that full white person has become almost totally white, and they keep doing it until the black race totally disappear. There are many different method used or devised to extinguish black people. Originally, when they take black people from Africa, when I said Africa, I mean the entire continent from South Africa to Somalia, from Ethiopia back to Israel. That's all Africa. Because remember, Israel joined to Egypt, and if you check the Bible, you know that Jacob and his children were going back and forth from Canaan, Israel. Canaan now become Israel. They were walking back and forth from Israel to Egypt, where Joseph, Jacob's son, Israel's son, was Pharaoh, right-hand man. So Israel is a part of Africa, regardless of what some people try to say. Political power change of that. But when European take us from Africa and distribute us all over the world as slave, that's all they intend to do, use us as slave. But after they build their empire and their wealth and everything, then they don't need us anymore. So they try to figure out a way to extinguish us. And you know all the method they try. They try killing, they try poison, they try embedding of diseases, they try whitening, they try a lot of stuff. And they're not failing, they're succeeding. Whether you believe it or not, they're succeeding. And this whitening method, with ideology that many of them hold, some hold it anonymously, some hold it presumptuously, some not hiding it, like for example Brazil or Cuba. Those places, they actually imported white people to breed with the slave that they have there, that they don't want anymore, that they try to get rid of, just to get rid of them by whiting them out. Cuba, for example, did a very good job in whitening out the slave that were there. And Brazil known for that, and they continue doing it even today. They're still doing it. Some country doing it anonymously. They don't want it to be so publicly, so presumptuous. They're hiding it. They're doing it secretly. America, for instance, you wonder why so many black couple breed together and their baby coming out white, and it doesn't ring a bell to nobody. Two black people and their babies coming out so clear skin, and you wonder how that happening. You got to be wise and think about why they require the pregnant mom to be in the doctor office so often during their pregnancy, during their 9-month pregnancy. Why they have to keep going to doctor. There's still many techniques they're using, and if you pay attention to science, they try to tell you that they're developing techniques and ways and method to develop the black man mental capacity and the way they think. So obviously they think that we don't think sophisticated enough, so they try to develop us. That is just another way of saying they try to turn our mind to let us look more like them. We're not like them. We don't think like them. We're a different set of people. So I'm gonna go to Brazil. I'm gonna show you a document from Brazil where you can find this document or documents similar with the same information in the library, the internet, anywhere. And I'm just gonna read about racial whitening, and if you can, I don't know if you can see it there, you can read a little bit about it, but I'm just going to read it for you just in case you cannot see it. And it said racial whitening or whitening, branqueamento, that is whitening in Portuguese, is an ideology that was widely accepted in Brazil between 1889 and 1914 as a solution to the Negro problem. So obviously they think that Negro there were given problem, and if you understand the problem that the Negroid people were giving them is just to be exist. That's the problem. They exist. They're like, Negroid is like weed in their field. They try to weed them out. And they tried to, in this document it said it was, but it's not was, it still exists. They just not so presumptuous with it anymore. And they said, however, racial whitening specific to Brazil encompassed the perception of individual as being white in relation to their position in class system. Supporter of the whitening ideology believed that the Negro race would be advanced culturally, genetically, or even disappear totally within a few generations of mixed breeding. So what they're saying right now is they try to develop us genetically, culturally, or this method that they're introducing is it can even wipe them out completely. They disappear, like dissolve by just mixed breeding, the same as whitening. And let me show you a picture of really what they're talking about. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a drawing of an example. The grandmother, the black lady, with her daughter, the half-breed white or bastard, mate with that white man beside her, and almost get a totally complete white baby. So basically, that's a process. And if you look around you today, that thing is happening so much. In America, America is not pushing it up front as these people back in Brazil did it and still doing it. America just give you a deceptive education of 18 yourself and leave it right there. So when the Negroid person hates him or herself, right there offhand, they don't want no black babies because they already hate the black. So they go and they try to find other race so the baby can become mixed. And that baby that already mixed, that's already a bastard, gonna seek with that same education passing down from their parents of hating black skinned or woolly hair, gonna go after a more whiter race, and more the offspring of the black gonna be disappeared. And if you want to destroy a race, just kill the offspring and that race will destroy completely. It's easy. So this method is very, very effective. We will also talk about how to counteract that, because sadly it's not easy to counteract because of the brainwash of Negroid people. They don't like black, they don't like themselves, so they seek to mix breed to get a mixed breed baby, and the baby also seek to be more mixed breed. So very soon the black race will disappear. Look around you and look at the Negroid person. The man, he seek white woman or the clear skin woman. They want the black woman behind closed doors, so they will have a white woman but hang out with black woman. And if you know, when they hang out, what they really intent. But they don't want the black baby, they want the mixed white baby, but they just hang out with the black woman to get the black goodies. Same with the white woman. You want the white man, with the black woman, she wants the white man to have the bastard babies, but her plumber will be a black man because she still want the plumber to be able to fix her pipe every now and then, if you know what I mean. But when all is said and done, that's a very effective method, and it's working effectively, even though the white people are not pushing it up front, but it's happening. Look at the Negroid people, black woman and black man. The man start to bleach your skin, bleaching it out, and they call that skin an higher color. So they look at the black skin as a lower color and the clearer skin as higher color, which is garbage. It's not no higher color. It's an effect. It's an affected color. It's not higher color. And then the black woman do also the same, bleaching out their skin and put on that Indian hair, sometime longer than the Indian itself, or put on that bland horse hair and cover or cut off the woolly hair. So this thing can be counteracted, it can be reversed, but first you gotta de-educate what these Negroid people are already deceptive, educated by Europeans. First you gotta teach them who they really are, and teach them to care about or love themselves. First. Second, you gotta show them that who they really are, where they come from, that they're the first people, and that they're brainwashed, and let them go back to their culture, which is the Bible, which a lot of people don't want to accept. Everybody is going against the Bible right now, saying it's garbage, and the white man wrote it. It's garbage. White man didn't wrote that book. That's an African book, way back in the East. That book is not European book. But anyway, as a black person, or half black, or whatsoever you are, half black or fully black, you hardly can find fully black anymore, so mixed black. First you gotta seek to mate with people with more Negroid blood. Stay away from the people with a higher percentage of European blood. That basically what you gotta do. It's got to be a very slow process because of the hate that Negroid people have in them for themselves, and they don't want to date each other. They don't like their lips, they don't like their nose, they don't like their hair, they don't like their skin, so they seek to go for the longer nosed people. And with common sense, longer nosed people weren't made for socialization. It's a sad truth. They weren't made for socialization. Look at them trying to kiss each other and sticking each other in the eye with the nose. They weren't made for kissing and all those stuff. When they try to kiss, forced kiss, you see they go like that because the nose too long, it's sticking each other in the eye. Black people with a flatter nose, they're made for that. They're made to go up close and kiss each other with thick lips that can enjoy other thick lips. White people, they don't really have lips. They're not made for kissing and up close, because the nose alone show you that they're not supposed to be up close, because the nose, as soon as they get up close, the nose start to stick each other in the eyes. They're not made for that. But that's another topic anyway. But in order for you to counteract that whitening, you have to seek to mate with other Negroid people that have more percentage of Negroid blood, less bastard in them. So more and more breeding with that type of people will go back to a more pure race, a more pure Negroid genes. And I guess that's all I want to say about this topic. But it's not going to be easy because of how we feel about each other. But as Hebrew Israelites, we don't do that. We seek to, and we follow the Bible, which is our culture. We don't date other race unless you're not awake. Unless you're an Israelite, but you're not awake. You're not awake. You're like a sleeping dead, or walking dead. You think you're awake, but you're not awake. Because if you read your culture, which is the Bible, it tells you not to date other race, and it's all over the Bible. So, as Hebrew Israelite, we don't do that. We stick to our race as commandment, as it's a commandment in the Holy Book. And with that being said, Shalom, Mashipakat, Shalom.